Okay, guys, good morning. This is me, Marcos Pina, holding my fourth session with Group 8. This is Wednesday, October the 17th, year 2018. And today we will be discussing these strategies that you have seen on video on how to prepare for a debate. According to what this guy on the video was saying, you have to come up with arguments that are both credible and relevant to the topic that you have in mention. Um, so there's a series of key points. Okay, like for example, we've got to learn about the reality of the current situation. It's like what we're talking about is relevant, right? So we can simply go off on a tangent and start talking about things that are kind of off key. So the idea is to make some research, okay, before we start a debate. So I'm going to start asking you questions, summarizing the ideas from the video. That's the first thing to do. So I'm going to call attendance, and that's it. Lady Lizette Belandia, is she present? So no. Jessica Paola Calderón.
Present.
Julie Natalia Cárdenas is absent. Josué Usa.
I am present.
Okay. And Fernanda Urbano. Fernanda, are you there?
Present. Yeah,
Okay.
present.
Okay. I've been waiting like for 10 minutes here, no connection. I don't know what's wrong. It took you so long, guys, to log on today. I was holding my previous session, so I was just getting the link for this new one. So, Fernanda, what are these key points from the video that you guys have just seen in order to prepare for today?
Could you repeat?
My question is, how can you prepare for a debate?
Okay, taking into account the information that given the video. Hello.
Yes, we're listening.
Okay. Taking into account this information, the way that we can to prepare for a debate is, for example, the first thing that is important is when you prepare, have a good prepared the topic. If you check previously the topic, important things, for example, don't check websites like Wikipedia. You have to check reputable journals or articles for that you can support your ideas. Another, okay.
Okay, that's it. Thank you. Jose, what do you have to say? What can you add to this?
I watched the video.
Yes?
I watched the
I'm
video.
asking you to summarize the ideas on the video.
Excuse me. Can you repeat that question?
No? There's no question. I'm asking you to summarize the ideas on the video.
I don't change the video. I don't.
I need you to summarize the ideas on the video. Did you watch the video? Josue,
I don't watch the video. I don't change.
you did? Did you watch the video? Josue,
I don't watch the video.
you didn't? Okay. Then Jessica. So what can we do so that we can add credence to our arguments in preparing for a debate?
For or a debate.
To prepare. Prepare.
Prepare. Yes. To prepare to a debate, uh, we must uh, speak uh, speak our ideas and and
Yes, we have to speak our mind by making some consultation. You know, we have to make research. We have to get ready. We have like to to prepare the pavement. Okay, so that we can be ready. We have to use meaningful content to back up our arguments. Okay, Jessica.
oh,
Uh, now, Fernanda, this is about what I heard you say. You said here when you were talking that this is the way that we can to prepare. So you were using the can and the verb. So when you use modal verbs, you don't use these two, okay? So that we can
Okay.
prepare, not that we can to. So there are expressions concerning the vocabulary that is useful for a debate. So what are these expressions that we can use kind of to disagree in a polite way? Can you tell me
For,
some of them?
okay, we can say, for example, I see your point of view, but we mention your ideas. So you can say, I understand, but in my opinion, or I agree, I think, or in my opinion, or it's very interesting your point of view, but I consider, or something like this.
Yes, that's the way it is. Jessica, do you have any other expression? Do you have any other expression that we can use to follow the listener? Like I'm listening to you as my opponent, but I happen to think differently. So what are the give me an example of those expressions.
mm,
No way?
no.
For example, you can say, I'm afraid, but I can't agree with your point of view. Okay, I'm
Or
afraid, but I can't agree with your point of view for these and these reasons. Or yes, I understand, but my point of view is totally different. Okay, all right. Uh,
mhm.
Now as well, there are like some expressions that we can use for interrupting. Do you know any one of them?
For example, excuse me,
Yes.
but I consider that your opinion is a quite incorrect, maybe,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or I'm disagree with you,
Exactly.
or I want to please give me a time. I want to respond this in another way, or I don't know,
Yes,
another.
exactly. You can say yes. That's the way it is. Or you can say I'm sorry to interrupt, but you have misunderstood my point of view, or excuse me, but that's not quite correct. All right. So uh, I think we can uh, I can start showing you my screen so that we can jump to the exercises. Oh, there is Lisette. Lisette, good morning.
Good morning, teacher.
Can you please summarize the ideas on the video?
Hi, teacher.
Lisette, please try to summarize your ideas on the video that you guys had to watch.
I just saw a video, a debate. reflect your topic before doing research, grow your research in the present reality, and the second video, vocabulary divide. Vocabulary divide.
No, debate vocabulary or vocabulary for a debate.
Vocabulary
For
and
a debate.
for debate. And the first video, 13% argument, 20% content, 20% refutation.
Refutation, 20% teamwork and 10% style and rhetoric. I know. So that's the adjudication scorecard, like kind of a rubric that we can use to evaluate deviation points. Okay, yes. But mention three key points that are important, Lisette, for debating. Only three things.
Point the important the video.
Yes. No, I mean, yes, from the video, in order to prepare for a debate. Three key points.
Points reflect on your the topic before doing research. Present arguments for them. Divide the presentation and use mindful the content to back add your arguments. Attempt to participate your opposition's points or contents.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I'm going to share my screen again. Sorry. With this one. So we're gonna practice with this one. It says, some people think it is best to plan their lives carefully. That's what some people think is best to plan their lives carefully. Others, on the other hand, prefer to make spontaneous decisions. So what is your opinion? What is best? To plan carefully or to make spontaneous decisions? So for the sake of this, uh, I'm going to pair you up into groups, okay? So I'm gonna have Fernanda and Fulvio defend the fact that you have to prepare in order to make the best decisions. And then Lisette and Jessica are going to refute that, and you're going to say that it is best to take decisions spontaneously. Okay, so that's the idea, that you defend your points of view. So remember, Fulvio, Jose, and Fernanda, you're going to defend the fact that it's best to plan our lives carefully, and then Lisette and Jessica, you're going to refute the other's point of view by saying that you prefer the fact that it's most important to make spontaneous decisions. So I'm going to give you 1 minute to prepare key points. So I mean valid arguments. You have to stick to your point and defend your stance. So please prepare in 1 minute. Key points for you to defend. And Lisette, I'm sorry, you have to turn your camera on. If you don't have your camera on, I will be counting you half the points, like 50%. That's one of the instructions from my boss, from my tutor, that when we go on these sessions, you guys have to have your cameras on. Okay. So so uh let's get started by Fernanda and Josue. Go ahead. Why do you think it's more important to plan our lives carefully than just to make spontaneous
Okay,
decisions?
okay,
Go
I'm
ahead.
going to start. Okay, I consider or I think all things in excess are bad. But if you are a little, or if you have order in your life, maybe, or is more sure that things could happen in a good way. You could achieve more positive things uh, if you don't prepare your life. But I consider all things in excess are bad because I know or I meet people that are very organized in your lives, but don't
In their life.
or they in their life, sorry, but they don't enjoy your life. It's important that you enjoy your life. For this reason, I consider it's good if prepare your life, but not be more teacher. How I can say estricto or riguroso.
You can say strict, or you can also say mm, stringent.
Okay, it's bad when people is very strict with their lives. So they have obsession for that all things are good in their lives, but it's impossible because we have times in our lives that things happen in a good way, in a bad way. It depends how we manage our lives. I consider this.
Okay, I see your point, because uh, although it is important to organize like everything in advance, we have to be ready for the unexpected, and maybe things don't come out like just like we planned, and then we're going to get frustrated and feel terrible. And no, we simply have to let go of things and keep going and move on. So if you are uh like too square, like when things don't work out your way, then you're going to feel terrible, and that's not good. So you've got to be flexible with yourself. All right, so I see
Yeah.
your uh this is maybe I would like to share my screen for a little while. This here, this is one way to say riguroso, estricto, stringent. Okay,
String. Okay, teacher.
stringent,
Thank you.
like stringent regulations or stringent standards for something. And the other one is the one we have just used, strict. Strict.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So that was it. Mm. So, Jessica, what do you have to say? Jessica, we can hear you.
Sorry, tenía el micrófono apagado.
Okay.
I think that planning spontaneously what one wants is the best way to make a decision is good. Since many times the planet things go better from one moment to another. I think this is very good. Many times planning things with anticipation do not go as you want, but when we decide to do something from one moment to another can go better. For example, when making a plan is the better to do it spontaneous from to time and no more.
Okay. Thank you. Lisette, do you agree with them? Lisette, do you agree with them?
Hi, teacher. And I think, Mike, I think that making good decisions helps us to improve our life plans, to have clear goals and where we want to go, to have a better quality of life, and making important decisions spontaneous and in a correct and manera oportuna and timely, manner timely.
Yes, but I want you to speak spontaneously. I don't want you to read. I feel like you're reading a paper. What's your opinion? Your opinion. Your opinion is what really counts here. I had a clear question. Do you agree or disagree with them? They are favoring the fact that you've got to plan carefully. You have to defend the other point of view that is best to take spontaneous decisions. So my initial question, do you agree with them?
I agree.
You agree with them?
I agree. I think that
Excuse me, do you agree with them? Yes or no?
yes.
No, you're supposed not to agree with them because you're defending the other point of view. You see? So here you have to stick to your point. You have to stick to the fact that it's best to take spontaneous decisions, and you're going to explain why by 2 or 3 key points from your own experience, from something like that. So it doesn't matter that in real life you do agree with them, but for the sake of this exercise or for the sake of the debate, you have to defend the position that you're taking. The position that you have here is to be against them. Okay, so go ahead. So once again, do you agree with them? Then you have to say, no, I don't. Why not? Because I think that it's best to take decisions spontaneously. Why? Because sometimes things don't come out just like you plan, and if you are taking your decisions too carefully, then maybe you lose the opportunities you're given. So you have to learn to be risky. So when you take spontaneous decisions, yes, you are taking decisions that might be risky, but you're making sure that you don't lose the chance. I don't know, something like that, but you have to stick to your point. So let's try it with another topic.
Okay.
Sorry. No, not this one. Oh, wait up. This one. Which is more important for young people nowadays, going to college or getting a job? Okay. So we're gonna keep it like this. Uh, in this case, Fernanda is going to defend why getting a job is more important than going to college. Okay, Fernanda? You're going to defend the fact that getting a job is more important to going to college for young people. And then Lisette is going to defend the fact that going to college is more important than getting a job. But why? With arguments that are valid, that are relevant, arguments that add credence to what you're saying. Okay, I want you to come up with these arguments that are persuasive. So please prepare, and you will hold this debate between the two of you. Okay, guys. So I'm going to get out of this once more. And let's begin by Lisette. So Lisette, why is it important to why going to college is more important than getting a job when you're a young person? Lisette, please. Which is more important for you? Which is more important actually for young people nowadays, going to college or getting a job? What's your position? Okay, I can't wait for you any longer. Fernanda, why do you think getting a job is more important than going to college?
Okay, teacher, in my opinion, I think that they prefer nowadays getting a job because they have a bad example for society in general. Because if we talk about national television, for example, the all times we can see terrible examples for young people, soap operas or things that talk about problems that we have had in the past, for example, narco traffic, and they look in this kind of people that represent these soap operas. They want to become like them. For example, Pablo Escobar or some or another different people, and they have a bad example in our society.
Excuse me. Excuse me. You're telling me like you're talking like from their point of view, and this is from your point of view, trying to defend the fact that you think that it's more important to go to to get a job than going to college. And yes, you
Okay.
were right about saying that from television, young people usually adopt the wrong behaviors because they have really bad role models. These role models that they see on TV are so influential, and they are very bad. But I want you to say it from not like from your point of view, okay?
Okay.
Like like like
Okay.
like if you thought that getting a job is more important than going to college, no matter you really
Okay.
agree with this
Yeah,
or
yeah.
not, no matter you really agree with this or not in reality, but this is like the position you are taking for this case, okay? So
Okay.
that's what I
Okay.
want you to defend.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. I consider that they want to nowadays they want to get in a job because they don't look at good opportunities for that study because it's very difficult. We can say or reality is very is we can say maybe that it's impossible for that all young people to access to education to university, but they prefer to work because they want to earn their own money.
They want to earn
They
their own money, yes,
yes, yes. For
because
that reason, I consider that they prefer to get in a job because they want to feel big or that they are capable to be
capable.
responsible for themselves.
Okay, remember, capable of. Okay, you say capable.
Okay, okay.
The
How
pronunciation
is
is capable of.
capable of? Okay, if they want
Capable
to
to feel.
to feel capable of
Yes, they want to feel
to
that they are capable of achieving something or of doing something.
yeah
They like,
for for themselves.
yes. Okay.
Okay.
Lady Lizette, what do you have to say?
Hi, teacher.
You have to defend the point of view that students know that young people prefer to go to college. No,
Um,
the question is this: which is more important for young people nowadays? Going to college or getting a job? So you say, I
uh,
think that going to college is more important
I think
than getting a job, blah, blah, blah.
I think it's more important to go to college to prepare for the future and have more life opportunities and to get a good job in the actuality world and improve their quality of life and university education not only for the person and in the sense of knowledge but also enrich him as person and they are more responsible not more teacher.
Okay. Now, Jessica, the same question for you. Which is more important for young people nowadays, going to college or getting a job? You have to fix your microphone, Jessica.
Okay.
Okay.
It's more important for young people nowadays go to the college for this preparate at the future and in the future this this they get a good job with your study.
With their.
Okay, for you. And the students esto today in and no and some people and some students y algunos estudiantes
Like in Spanish.
yeah, this no this no in protest for defend to education, but no, the that is important for this preparate.
Preparate. You never say in English. It doesn't exist the verb preparate, the verb, I don't know, affirmate. You don't say affirmate, you say affirm. You don't say preparate, you say prepare. Okay.
Is prepare
This prepares them for, I don't know, for future
more
life.
important for change to the country and your lives,
Their lives.
their lives.
Their lives. Yes. Okay, good. Now,
And no more.
okay. No. On the last topic. Okay, this one is good. It says like this. Which aspects of life in the past, which no longer exist, do you think were positive? How could they be revived? How could we retrieve these things from the past? Maybe machines that don't exist anymore, or games that have disappeared, like children don't play those games anymore. I don't know. I'm just giving you ideas. So which aspects of life in the past which no longer exist do you think were positive that we don't have anymore, and how could we revive those things, if possible, if they could ever be revived? So once again, which aspects of life in the past which no longer exist, which don't see or have anymore around us, do you think were positive? You're going to pose your points of view, and then you are going to agree or disagree with one another. Jessica, Fernanda, and Lady Lisette.
Okay.
Okay, so let's begin by Lady Lisette. Lady, you have to open your microphone. It's closed. Lady, go ahead. Which aspects of life in the past, which no longer exist, do you think were positive? Okay, no response, as always. You never respond, Lisette. Fernanda, please, go ahead.
Okay, teacher, in my opinion, I think the aspects in the past that I want to talk about is, for example, the way how we study in the past. For example, when I was a child, if I had a homework, I go to the library and look for different kind of information. Isn't Wasn't easy in the past because you have to check different books. And then when you have maybe 10 books, you check 10 books and you find or found the things that you needed for your task. These things I consider were good in the past. The way how we study in the past, because
Excellent.
now okay.
Yes, I totally agree with you. You know, I also uh, I'll, I couldn't agree with you more because of my own experience. You know, how did I learn English? I learned English by using physical dictionaries. I had to memorize lots of words by using physical dictionaries. But what's happening today? Students simply use Google Translator, and the longer their sentences subject to translation through these online translators, the more mistakes they are likely to get. You know, and it's like, I don't know, these days it's like they want to learn English by using Google Translator, and that's not the way. It's like learning mathematics, learning to operations like addition, subtraction by using a calculator. You cannot
Yeah,
learn to add 2 plus 2 by using a calculator. You've got to use the operations by hand. and
yeah,
and and yes, yes, so the way we used to study was better in the past. That's your point
yeah,
of view. Actually, it might be better today because we have the internet, but the internet is making us like lazier, you know. Yes, we can get things like this. We can resort to libraries far away from here, but it makes us I mean, like, there is a whole range of information that we have access to, but at the same time it makes us lazy because we don't look words by learned English. Jessica, which aspects of life in the past which no longer exist do you think was positive? Activate your microphone, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think I think that an important aspect of the previous years that has been then, for example, the letters we use social networks, and this made use lose the use of this, which one could express better nowadays is more through mm, for the emoticons that make you don't miss the ability or writing by young people, or in general people. Mm, the
Jessica, please,
letter,
I don't understand your point of view. What is it that was positive from the past that we don't have now? You're talking about emoticons, and I don't know. Those are things
uh,
from today, not from the past. I don't get it. Tackle the question as it is. Tackle the question as it is. Which aspect only one of life in the past. For you, the question is plural. Which aspects? But let's make it singular. Which aspects of life in the past, which no longer exist, do you think was positive?
Mm, in the past, which no, the aspect of life in the past which no longer exists, eh, that is positive, and could they be revived is, for example, um, write the letters, because today the peoples know
Oh yes, yes,
the
yes, yes. I
use.
got it. Writing physical letters in the past was beautiful. It was more romantic than just sending instant messages on WhatsApp or Facebook or whatever.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay, got it. Lisette, what do you have to say? Like Lisette,
Hi, teacher.
answer the question.
And my opinion is that aspects of life in the past that no longer exist and were
Longer, longer.
longer,
Are you
longer,
reading? Are you reading? It seems to me like you're reading. Don't read.
longer exist and were positive at, for example, the school, visit the
I don't
school.
know. Excuse me, Lisette. This is speaking. This is not reading. I want you to speak your minds spontaneously, on directly. Don't prepare the answers like that. Don't prepare the answers like that, because this is speaking conversation. You know, speaking and conversation. So this is conversational English. So please, what do you think about it? Which aspect of the life do you think was better than that? Was better and that we don't have it anymore? Answer the question, please.
Aspect important on my life uh, example, what participation in Taurus conference, aspect
Participation in what?
participation in Taurus conference.
Toys conference, what is that?
An important aspect because interesting and enrich knowledge about the tourists and
Lady Lizette, I don't understand. What are you talking about? What is this aspect that you're talking about, Lady Lizette?
aspect important participation in conference stories.
Fernanda, do you understand?
So I can understand, teacher.
I can understand. Conference. I don't know. The only word I understand is conference. Repeat, Lady Lizette. Repeat, please. Or write it. I don't know. What don't we have? No, there is no way. Why don't you write it here? Write
Here.
the topic.
Por aquí.
Conference, how do you pronounce that?
Sorry.
Repeat the topic. Pronounce it.
Can you?
Pronounce it. You say conference tourism, 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 conference tourism. But
Tourism.
so that's an aspect of the packs that we don't have anymore? What do you mean by that? I don't get it.
Okay, I don't understand the reason that my partner give us.
Yes, Lady Lisa is saying that the important aspect of the past is participation in tourism conference. Now, now first tourism conference, tourism, now tourism conference. No, Lady Lisa, I don't think you're tackling the question. It's not about your life. It's about life in general. It's about, you have to answer the question about life in general, and of course you can support it with personal examples. For example, an important aspect of the past that no longer exists is the fact that in the past children used to play board games. They used to play on the streets like hopscotch and things like that, like jumping the rope. Children are today are only playing online games. They are into their cell phones, you know. They are always like playing video games, virtual games, and they don't have the time to exchange with one another on the physical games that we used to have in the past. So something like that. You know what I mean? Okay, guys. So we have run out of time. I have to thank the three of you for being present today, and you certainly have to improve your speaking skills. And for you to improve your speaking skills, you simply have to speak, and you have to do it naturally. You don't have to depend on Google Translator. You don't have to depend on a piece of paper that you have to read from, because you are not doing it the right way. You have to flow, and you have to feel like comfortable. And I'm sorry if I'm always pressing on you, but I have to do it because that's my job. If I didn't care, I wouldn't do it. But I need to have you on camera, talking, expressing yourselves, expressing your mind, and getting involved in this thing, right? So
Okay.
I need you to prepare really well for next week, really well.
Okay.
I don't want you to depend on papers or things like that around you. What else? You guys have to keep working pretty hard on your Edmodo quizzes. Need you to complete your Edmodo quizzes from Monday through Sunday. You have the whole week to complete them. And that's been all for today. Okay, and remember that when you are going to defend your point of view, you have to come up with arguments that are persuasive. Okay, you have to come up with arguments that are relevant to the topic. All right, guys, that's all for today. Thank you very much. I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye bye.
Thank you, teacher. Bye bye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
teacher. Thank you.
Day.
Have a nice weekend. See you next Wednesday.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.